I would definitely rather give more respect to black people, Hispanics, Native Indians than I would ever give a white man. A white man and Yara, that's how you should have handled that. You should have handled that white boy like that. Because before we bring on the next caller, just bear with me 1 second. When that white man that Yara was debating admitted that Jesus was black, just like this white man admitted that Jesus was black, you were supposed to harp on that. You were supposed to harp on how could Jesus be black and the white man took his identity away just like he took our identity away. Because so we ain't got no problems.
We ain't got no, me and you, dog.
I've been enjoying this nigga forever. We like this, son.
Like my man 50 grand. Yo, and it's true because we really ain't get to be on the show together all the time.
No, we've been so busy, like it's so rare because of schedules and shit like that. So it's always a good thing when you're here.
But who's this guy? Oh, that's a fly John. Who's behind that Katazai? That's not the Zob, man. Subscribe to Tribe Vibes.
Yeah,
if y'all ain't on Tribe Vibes, and just know, man, I got some fly gear coming.
Yeah.
But what's his name? What? Truth and Telos. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
What's going on? You got a question or a comment?
Yeah. So it's interesting. You said that you don't have to prove your identity to the white man. Is that the claim?
Hello?
Say that one more. Wait, hold on. Is there somebody else going?
He muted the caller, and then now we're talking to
now. What? Say that one more time.
Yeah. So the claim is you don't have to prove your identity to the white man. Is that what that means?
That's correct. So, that's absolutely correct.
So what do you constitute as proving your identity?
So when a white man says, so we the children of Israel, and when a white man comes and tells me, prove I'm the children of Israel, I don't have to prove it to him. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to.
Who do you prove it to? Who do you prove it to?
Nobody.
Right, because you have no proof, right?
Wait, are you white? I'm assuming.
You have no proof, right?
Are we gonna have a conversation or not? I'm asking you a question. Are you white?
I asked you a question first, but yeah, I'll answer your question. Go ahead.
Slow down. Before you asked me my question, I asked you the question first.
Okay.
I said, are you white?
Yes, I'm white.
Okay. Do you have to prove your identity to anybody?
Absolutely not.
So why do I have to prove my identity to you?
Because you're making a claim that you're an Israelite.
Why am I making the claim? Why am I making the claim?
Because those words are leaving your mouth.
That's not why I'm making the claim.
That is because those words are leaving your mouth.
No, it's not. It's actually simpler than that. I'm making the claim of who I am because your ancestors stole that option from my ancestors. Your ancestors, when they brought us over here in slavery, took away our identity, our history, our culture. So now it's my ancestors that then discovered that we are the children of Israel. So now we identify ourselves outside of your system.
Anybody can say anything they want.
Absolutely. No, I didn't. You're absolutely.
So your ancestors could make the claim.
Your ancestors said you're American. You believe you're American, right?
My ancestors never said I'm American.
Do you believe you're American?
I'm an American citizen.
No, that's cap. Y'all believe that y'all are the Americans, even though the natives, the Mexicans, the Tainos, the Seminole Indians existed here before y'all came here.
Okay.
Thank you. So as the white man came over here and ravished, raped, and pillaged every people that he can think of, took away their identity, how can you, when I'm saying you, not you in general, how can you or the white man come and tell me I'm not who I say I am? That's my question.
Can you reframe the question? Because
how can you, after your people took away my identity, how can you now come and question who I say I am?
Because it's a false claim to say the identity of the Africans was taken away when they were made slaves.
It's false to who?
To the history of the transatlantic slave trade.
No, it's not. Even that's bullshit. And you want to know why that's bullshit? Because when we brought over here, if y'all cared so much about the identity of the people on the slave boats, you would have never taken it away in the first place. This is why I say it's white supremacy. Like, you're a white supremacist. And you're going to say, no, I'm not. I'm not a white supremacist, because you've lived in this society and this system so long. You think that you have the right to come to Black people, Hispanic people, and say, no, you're not the people of the book. Now you think you're going to teach me history about what we were or were not when we got off the boats, right? That's what you're about to say, right?
No, what I would claim, though, is that I'm actually the people of the book, right? Anybody can claim anything they want.
Facts. I never said they couldn't. But you
So where's
can't
your
tell
proof?
me I'm not who I am.
Where's your proof? You just need the proof.
Where's your proof?
Exactly. That's the whole point, Captain.
No. Where's your proof? Answer the question.
There is no proof.
There is no proof to who?
For anybody to make.
There is no proof to who? You can't say to anybody, because we have proof.
Where's your proof?
Now we get into it. We just don't have to prove it to you. Let me give y'all a great history lesson. You know what Black people do? Shedeur Sanders just proved he can take being blackballed by the NFL by accepting being the 5th round pick by the white man, and just getting drafted in the 5th round was enough for him. Prior to that, in movies like Men of Honor, I was just talking about this. Movies like Men of Honor, where Cuba Gooding starred in there, which is a true story. The Black man has to prove that he can go underwater, put together the submarine pipe, and then damn near die just to prove that he can do it. The Tuskegee Airmen have to prove that they can fly airplanes to the white man. There's nothing that Blacks and Hispanic have not tried to prove to be accepted by white people, only to not be accepted. So when you say I have to prove it to you, I don't. But you know who I will prove it to? I will prove it to my people. When they come into class, like when Kadazai did that 12 tribe chart breakdown, it was not, was that for white people, Kadazai?
Hell no.
It was not for white people. It was to give my people their identity, because if we leave it to you devils, you'll tell us we're everything. So here's my question to you. If we're not the children of Israel, who are we?
Well, there's a distinction between Africans and like Hispanic people. So are you talking about Africans, or
who are we? That's all I'm asking.
So you are a Black man, which means you came from sub-Saharan Africa. That's where your ancestors came from.
Who am I?
Oh, you're a guy on YouTube.
No. Who am I? Give me my ethnicity. What's my ethnicity?
I just told you. If you're
Black,
a Black
right?
man, which I assume
Black.
you are,
and you know I'm Black because of your ancestors, right?
What's that?
I don't know why you whispering, nigga. I can hear you.
Somebody whispering.
Yeah, somebody whispering some shit. Tell that nigga to talk too. So now, why am I Black by ethnicity? It's because your ancestors sold us, right?
No, it's because your ancestors come from sub-Saharan Africa.
Oh, so you saying I'm not Black by ethnicity because your ancestors sold us? Your ancestors,
right? That's like a side note.
That's not a side note.
Doesn't change where your ancestors came from.
What was I before I was ethnically called Black?
You were a sub-Saharan African. That's what your ancestors.
Sub-Saharan African doesn't even mean anything.
That's like,
well, to you maybe it doesn't.
Being a Southerner from
no. When you say sub-Saharan Africa, you know how big sub-Saharan Africa is? That's stupid.
Yeah. It's a geographical location.
Name me 5 tribes from sub-Saharan Africa. Go.
I couldn't do that.
Dumb nigga. That's what that's you's a dumb nigga. That's the whole point.
Okay.
But
that's
you want to, and that's my point. So a white man can come and tell me I'm from sub-Saharan Africa, but can't name nothing in sub-Saharan Africa, and then at the same breath tell me I'm not an Israelite and I'm supposed to listen to this nigga. I'm supposed to listen
because you don't have proof. The proof is in the history of sub-Saharan Africa.
Is Jesus Christ Black or white?
No, Jesus Christ was a brown man.
So he wasn't white, right?
Correct.
But now, who made him white?
Caesar Borgia.
No.
Now, that's who he was. That's who the image is.
Right. But who made him white, and who gave us a white Jesus?
Who chose Caesar Borgia to be that image?
I would imagine the Catholic Church.
And they were what? What nationality? What ethnicity were they?
They were probably mainly comprised of Europeans. Yeah.
So white people. Okay.
So then even Jesus doesn't get respect from white people. Let that sit.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying that's right for Caesar Borgia. Yeah,
y'all don't even respect Jesus.
I didn't make Caesar Borgia.
And this is why we don't have to prove ourselves to white people. Y'all don't even respect Jesus Christ.
Okay,
y'all made Jesus white. Y'all made Jesus Christ white. Then we say we Israelites. You telling me I'm wrong to say that we're Israelites, but then you say Jesus Christ was brown. So if Jesus Christ was brown, I think I'm brown too. So if Jesus,
you're right. Jesus Christ wasn't sub-Saharan African though.
Then you just said we sub-Saharan African,
right? And Jesus Christ was not sub-Saharan African.
No, and neither were we.
Well,
is Elon Musk? Elon Musk South African? Is Elon Musk South African?
Yeah, but that's thousands of years removed from.
So is he African then?
Yeah, correct. Thousands of years after the fact, yes, white people colonized South Africa.
Wait. So he can be South African because white people lived in South Africa, right? That's why you're saying that, right?
Right. Yeah, thousands of years after Christ walked the earth.
So when Jerusalem fell and Israelites went into Africa, the same way Elon Musk can be South African even though he's white is the same way we can be Israelites that lived in Africa. I can in the Bible, were Israelites in Africa in the Bible?
Yes, correct. They're in Egypt.
And would they still be Israelites even though they was in Africa?
Correct. Yes, because they came from a genealogy.
I love conversations like this because I show how stupid white people are. And black people love to think that white people are intelligent, they're smart, they're kind, they're everything. And the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. That's the only thing he could ever be. And so he want to sit here and tell me I'm sub-Saharan African ethnically. And Kadazai said, hey, can you name 5 countries over there? No, I can't.
Not even the
countries. You said 5 tribes.
The tribes. Yeah, the tribes.
You could have named 5 countries anyway.
What's the 5 countries? What's the 5?
Of countries?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got what's that? Congo, Ghana. You've got.
Yeah, stop Googling.
Yeah, no, I'm not Googling.
Stop Googling.
This is how Yara
Zimbabwe.
This is how Yara was supposed to treat the white man yesterday. The white man is a piece of shit,
right? Especially
when it comes to our identity. Now, I have conversations with all of them. I'm having a conversation with one right now. Didn't hang up on him or anything. But he is not the litmus test of who we are, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The white man could never be the litmus test because he took away Jesus. If he gonna take Jesus' identity away, for sure he don't give a damn about you.
Again, I never took Jesus' identity away. I just told you that he was not white.
Wait, slow down. The only reason you saying that is because you know that you're on our channel and we can read in the Bible what it is. But what your ancestors did was they paraded a white, right now in Brazil, that's a white man statue. In Africa, that's a white man statue of a white Jesus. So if you parade and propagate a white Jesus and take away the true identity of Jesus Christ, why would we ever let the white man tell us who we are?
Again, I never once said Jesus was white. And if you're going to say it was my ancestors, I would say the same thing to you. Your ancestors were sub-Saharan African. So,
you want to know what this is really
like? We're just like, if you can prove to me, Captain, if you can trace the genealogy of yourself back to the tribes of Israel, we can maybe have a conversation, but you can't. All you can do is claim things.
No, you know what? You want to know what this is really about? Because our belief, he can't get into heaven because of who he is.
Yeah.
So he has to try to deny our identity, to discredit the belief, to validate that he can go to heaven.
That's right.
And the reason that now you don't believe you're ethnically an Israelite.
Absolutely not. I'm not ethnically an Israelite.
But you not ethnically, but what type of Israelite do you believe you are?
I am the Israel that would be saved according to Romans 11.
You see?
Where in Romans 11 does it say
now prove that you're that?
Yeah, prove that you're that.
Yeah, because there's an ingrafting of non-bloodline Israelites
Where?
in Romans 11.
Where?
When Paul starts off Romans 11 talking about being of the seed of Abraham, and then he makes a juxtaposition of those not of the seed.
Wait. But what was he the seed after the seed of Abraham? But he was from what tribe?
The tribe of Benjamin.
Ethnically.
Correct.
Ethnically.
Ethnically. Correct.
Ethnically. So we started the chapter talking about ethnic Israel.
Ethnicity, yes. But Paul goes on to then juxtapose the bloodline ethnicity to the ingrafting of those who are not a bloodline.
Where does it say that? Where does it say that?
When it says that the olive branch, contrary to nature, that is grafted into the root. Christ is the root. Christ is the Israel.
Where does that? No. Where does that mean?
No, Christ is not the root.
Where does that mean? Christ is not the subject matter of Romans the 11th chapter.
Absolutely, it is.
The subject matter is, has God cast away his people?
Right.
That's the subject matter. So when it says, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is holy, and if the root be holy, so are the branches. So now, the branches being broken off, what were the branches originally before they broke off?
They were the tribes of Israel. They're ethnic Jews.
No, not ethnic Jews, ethnic Israelites.
Okay, fine. Ethnic Israelites, yeah.
Right. That's the Gentiles that is. The Gentile just means nation, right?
Correct.
So is Israel a nation?
They are, for intents and purposes, separate from the nations in the Bible.
Is
so
Israel a nation?
Yeah, it's a nation of people. It was.
So then Israel would be a goyim. Israel would be a Gentile. Israel would be what you would call a nation, correct?
Yes, correct. But if you're going to apply that to Romans 11, that's you twisting the chapter.
I'm not twisting anything.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely.
No,
So why did Paul start the chapter saying that he was of the seed of Abraham? Why would he not just say, I am the goyim, or I am the ethnos?
Wait, you know why? Because he said that he's the Gentile. He had said he's the apostle to the Gentiles. This is why.
Correct.
Right. That he can magnify his office. Right. So that this way he can get them which are his flesh to emulate him. Who's Paul's flesh?
Who's Paul's flesh?
Who's Paul's flesh?
That would be him going out to the Jew first. Yes. So he
No. Let him go.
No. Get him. Who is his flesh?
It's not a Gotham. It's really not a Gotham. This is very well known.
Can we read who his flesh is in the Bible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's his flesh then?
Let's see. Is it in Romans 8, 9, or 11?
It's Romans 9.
It's definitely Romans 9.
Yeah, Romans 9.
Even though we read it in the beginning of chapter 11, right. But if you want the word flesh, we can go to 9.
No, yeah, I got you. So Romans 9, 3 and following says, "For I wish that I myself were anathema, away from the Christ, for my brothers, my relatives according to flesh, who are Israelites."
Who are what?
I have no idea what this is, doesn't prove that the Gentiles being grafted in is Israelites.
Wait. When he says provoke the emulation, those that are my flesh, you notice it don't say who are Jews. It says who are Israelites. Why is that important? When you focus on Jews, where's Ephraim and Manasseh and Gad and Naphtali and Issachar at? Where they at?
Well, that term was used to mean all 12 tribes.
Well, why did it say Israelites in Romans 9 and 4?
Wait, but you know what though, Cat?
Yeah.
But
because they're interchangeable.
But wow. I'm glad that you know that. But now check this out. But Cat, if he's the apostle to the Gentiles and he's speaking to you, Gentiles, saying that I wish that you understand I myself were accursed, right? To Israelites. But now in this chapter, when he says he's the apostle of the Gentiles, to get them to emulate me, which are my flesh. If the Jews is his flesh, wouldn't they already be living like him? So who's he speaking to emulate? That's his flesh. The Jews who aren't living like him, which is why they're Gentiles.
You hear that, brother? I'm skipping. You hear that, white man?
White devil.
Yeah, that's like circular reasoning. That's not what the chapter is saying.
No, that's contextual context.
That is out of context, straight out of context.
Let me prove it to you. In verse 6 in Romans 9, when it says, not as though the word of God have taken an effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. An Israelite that does not believe in Christ will be destroyed.
Wake it up, brother.
Now, and then it goes further. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. Who's that? I'm just going to ask you, who's that talking about?
Who is it?
That's talking about bloodline ethnic Israelites.
No, it's not. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. What is that? What is that talking about?
Well, that's talking about like the divine adoption as the sons of God. This is covenantal.
No fluff. No fluff.
I'm gonna try it again. And I want my listening audience to understand.
Is that what you mean by word salad?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And this is what I want my listening audience. White people are stupid to the Bible.
Dumb.
Absolutely.
Blind.
This guy I'm talking to is stupid. I'm gonna give you one more shot. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they children. What does that mean?
I guess I do not have your interpretation, so you'd have to tell me.
It's not my interpretation. It's the Bible.
It's what we're reading.
You know why it's saying neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children? Because Abraham had other sons.
8.
It's that simple.
Ocho.
That's why it says, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
The one.
Before Israel existed, it was already established that only Isaac is the seed that Abraham would be called by.
Okay, so the problem with that is linguistically, the antecedent is Israel. So verse 7 is hearkening back to the Israel verse 6.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That is what an antecedent is.
That's how even more stupid you are. Because it's actually giving you a talking point. It's giving you a point of reference. So when it says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called, the very next verse lets you know it's a continuation. That is, so now we're starting with Isaac. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. But the children of promise are counted for the seed, meaning the other sons that Abraham had are irrelevant. Only the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So so he might not know. So for example, Ishmael, irrelevant. Midian, irrelevant. Whoever else, irrelevant. So we're talking about Isaac.
Right. We only talk about Isaac right
Back to you in the studio.
Now, when we want to talk about Israel, let's go keep going. That is, for this is the word of promise. It's still talking about what the Lord did with Abraham and Isaac. For this is the word. Nigga, don't say correct now, because your dumb ass tried to say it was about Israel, and it was not. It was not.
But the antecedent of verse 7 is
this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah had conceived, and by one, now we're getting to Israel. And Rebekah had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. You know what's crazy?
What's crazy, Cap?
When it says by our father Isaac, Paul is an Israelite.
Right.
He's in Rome, though.
Right.
So when he says our father Isaac,
it's a family issue.
How could he be talking to non-Israelites?
Because they're not in the family.
That's not their father.
That's not
Isaac is definitely not their father.
That's not my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. Who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites?
You feel me?
And it says, as concerned, whose are the fathers
concerning
the flesh?
No, the doctrine,
the flesh,
the spirit,
the flesh.
No, the spiritual Israelite,
the flesh,
the belief,
the flesh,
the philosophy,
the flesh,
and the flesh is what?
The flesh is your family.
Oh, that's
and that's the flesh that Christ came.
Damn.
So when Paul says our fathers, how could he be talking about everybody?
I don't think he could.
Then it goes further. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, for that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works,
but
but of him that calleth. Meaning there was nothing that Esau did that was great. There was nothing that Jacob did that was bad or good.
But rather
the Lord, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. The Lord did what he wanted to. And it says
he made a choice.
Yes.
Who'd he choose?
He chose Jacob. This is what it says. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated.
Damn.
So now my question to you, when Paul says, even by our father Isaac, where does the other nations have Isaac as a father?
Mine definitely didn't.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Want to hear that again?
Anybody else on the line?
No. Let's.
That's okay. No, I'll answer the question.
Yeah, as you should.
Oh, okay. My question again: when Paul says, "Even by our father Isaac," how would the other nations have Isaac as their father?
Yeah, no, Paul does this all the time. When he says "our," he's making the distinction between Jew or Israelite and Gentile.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay.
It was clean when he said, "Who are Israelites?" When he says "our father," that lets you know the context of the people that he's talking to is in Rome have the same father Isaac as he has,
according to the flesh,
which are Israelites according to the flesh. In verse 5, it says, "Whose are the fathers?" Now and concerning whom the flesh Christ came. Now the other fathers are also connected to Isaac because they are all Israelites according to the flesh.
See, if we talked about whose fathers was under the cloud, we wouldn't be talking about anybody else. Now all of a sudden we want to include everybody. That's what we're doing.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
Paul says our fathers passed under the cloud.
Right, Paul said that
in a whole different city of Corinth.
Paul said that?
He said our fathers passed under the cloud.
Oh, man.
White people didn't pass under that cloud.
Well, he did say Paul says it all the time. So what must he be talking about?
He must be talking about the brothers that passed through the cloud in Egypt.
He might be talking about FUBU.
He is talking about FUBU. That's for us, by us.
In case you ain't know.
Yeah. This how you treat white people. Y'all make sure y'all get a very great lesson by the great Captain Katazar and the humble Captain Tazar.
Oh, well, most times.
Y'all make sure y'all get this good ass lesson. These dumbass white people do not know the Bible. They have lied to you for 500 years, claiming that this book is not yours. Not only are you the people of the book, this book is only for you. This is your covenant. This white man on the line is either going to die or kiss your feet and serve and build your nation.
That's not biblical.
As God is the witness of us being the children of Israel, that's your destiny. I'm too wild.
Oh, okay. So
concerning remember Isaiah 60, the nation shall not serve you.
Yeah, you know that's in the Bible. The nation that shall not serve shall die.
You know the one that Revelations was quoting. Oh, we had this talk.
Right. And I told you that's covenantal language, and you still have yet to prove that wrong.
Boy, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have yet to prove that that's not covenantal language, though, is the problem.
Who's the covenant for?
Why don't we read Romans 9 and find out?
Who's the covenant for?
Right, yeah, no, the covenants was given to Israel originally. Nobody can deny that.
When was the covenant ever given to anybody else?
In the new covenant. That's
when was the covenant? Book, chapter, verse that the covenant was given to somebody else, please.
Yeah, in Revelation 5, verse 9.
So Revelations 5 of events that had not taken place. I'm gonna ask you, does it say the covenant is given to
Revelations 5 is the worst place to go.
Yeah, I don't know why he went
That's
there.
A terrible place. Yeah, why would you go there?
Because it's proving that people from every tribe and tongue and people and nation are
let's keep reading. Let's keep reading.
So now, before we read it, right? I want everybody to pay attention.
Pay attention, y'all.
I asked him, and this is what I go through with every dumbass white Christian and black Christian. When I asked you to show where the covenant was given to other nations, we're about to have a semantic argument. Y'all pay attention to this because this the same thing gonna happen this Saturday. We're gonna read not that the covenant was given to anybody else. But we're gonna read about something else total. This is Revelations 5. Which verse in 5? 5 and 9, right? There we go. It says, and they sung a new song. Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain. Oh,
he wants us to read 10? You want us to read 10? That's what I wanted to read.
Yeah, and has redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kindred, tongue, people, and nation, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Who was prophesied to be a nation of kings and priests?
I'm sorry. You said that who what?
Who was prophesied to be a nation
I'm gonna tell you something.
of king and
I'm gonna tell you something. The arrogancy of this white man, right? We can kick him off. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let that question get answered. If you ever disrespect this platform by not hearing us again, I'll ban you. The arrogance of a white man to be on this live stream and for the second time to say, "Can you repeat that?" We don't need to talk to you. We don't need you. We don't. When I say we don't need you, you can hang up off of my line right now.
Okay.
And that's the arrogancy of the white man. The white man believed that he could say, "Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't pay." Y'all see the brothers and sisters that call this line? It'll be us that might be busy doing something else, but they give us the respect. Don't disrespect us again. You understand me? Understand me?
Yeah.
You understand me? Don't disrespect us by not paying attention to what we're saying, because we do not have to talk to you. Do you understand?
Right. That's true. Yeah, but it's your platform.
You got it.
Who was prophesied to be a nation of kings and priests?
In the Old Testament?
Correct.
Yeah, that would be like bloodline Israel, depending on what chapter and verse and book.
Shalom. This is the fulfillment. That's the prophecy. And then prophecy gets fulfilled. And that's why what we're reading here is the continuation of this prophecy, because Israel was promised to be a nation of kings and priests. So once again,
can I read a precept?
You have not shown anywhere where another nation gets the covenant. Where you going, Cap?
1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that he should show forth the praises of him who we have called out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Correct. Yeah, that's written to the Israelites. Yeah, I agree.
Done deal. All right, next.
Yeah, bye-bye. You can kick him off. He ain't got to stay on here.
What a clip.
Yeah.
That's going to be
an
great.
Amazing clip.
That was great.
Yeah. That's how you treat white people. That's how you treat them. White people, listen, I would definitely rather give more respect to black people, Hispanics, Native Indians, than I would ever give a white man. A white man and Yara, that's how you should have handled that. You should have handled that white boy like that. Because before we bring on the next caller, just bear with me 1 second. When that white man that Yara was debating admitted that Jesus was black, just like this white man admitted that Jesus was black, you were supposed to harp on that. You were supposed to harp on how could Jesus be black and the white man took his identity away just like he took our identity away. Because the white man made Jesus a white man. So just like the white man took away his identity is the same way the white man took away our identity. What do we have in common? We're all Israelites.
That was great. I was just gonna say that was great. We should do this again next week.
Definitely.
Same time.